Hey friends, Krista here. I just wanted to share some wisdom and just things I've been learning over the last couple of days. And because we are human, life happens. We sometimes need reminders quite often because of life, and our focus sometimes can be clouded by distractions. The Lord gave me a dream, and for the past couple of days, I've been really noticing, like, I'm just not remembering some of them. It feels like some of them have been stolen. I don't know. But anyways, the Lord, He helped me remember parts of my dreams last night, and one of the dreams that I had was I was putting a baby in like some sort of a bassinet or some sort of a playpen or something. And there were things all around that baby. And I was trying to move it out of the way to protect that baby. And, I didn't want them falling or, getting squished to the side of the playpen or whatever it was. But in the dream, I was removing things because there was so much around that baby that it wasn't very safe. And what the Lord was showing me was I needed to protect the promise because there were some distractions coming my way, and it was causing me to lose focus. So you really have to protect the promise. It doesn't matter what you've got going on in your life. If the Lord has called you to ministry and there are other things that are trying to come in and cause chaos in your life, or if there are things in your life that are causing you to not focus on that ministry, then you gotta remove that distraction. You gotta put boundaries in place so that you can focus on that ministry. You have to put boundaries in place so you can focus on whatever the Lord's purpose is for your life. I mean, if He calls you, then He's trusting you. If He calls you to stand for a spouse, then He's trusting you to remove distractions so that you can focus. You have to fight for your relationship with the Lord and not let distractions come in between. Your relationship with God is the most important thing. Your relationship with the Lord, with learning the story of Jesus and just building a relationship with Him, that is your most important thing. And if you know that there are distractions in your life that are keeping you from that, then you need to make a change, friend. I've just learned that when there are distractions, then I'm not hearing from God. And if I'm not hearing from Him, that feels kind of scary to me. I know I don't hear all of the time. Sometimes it's God really moving. But you really have to reflect on your life. Like, why aren't people hearing? I don't know. I've really come to the point where, I've had to change so much about myself so that I can grow in the Lord. I've had to I had to change a lot so that I could stay close to Him and put Him as my number one. We all have our days. Some days are better than others. Some days it's just like you feel so close, and then other days you feel distant. You got to give yourself grace. God knows you're not perfect. But he truly wants you to know his heart. That he really is so faithful. And that you can trust in him. I know right now, some of you are feeling like, why is he allowing me to have so much pain? Why isn't he coming through for me? Why? He wants you to lay your burdens down to him. Give them to him. Your past hurts and trauma, he wants to take them from you. He wants to remove those from you. And it's important to just say, okay, God, will you just take this from me? Will you take all of my pain that I had? All of my hurts and disappointments, will you take them? I choose to forgive who I need to forgive. I choose to forgive. I choose to forgive myself. I choose to forgive my friend. I choose to forgive my family. I choose to forgive whoever I need to forgive. Because I don't want that bondage anymore. I want to be free. Father, set me free from this pain. Set me free from this bondage. Set me free so I can walk in victory in the place that you are calling me to. Help me to walk in victory in that promised land, the place that you're calling me to. Don't forget to take authority over the enemy. The devil is really a liar, friends. If God says something, why are you going against what he told you? If God says that something is yours, why are you trying to count yourself out for it? If God says that that's your spouse, who is telling you that you can't have that person? Who's telling you that? Who's telling you that you're not worthy of that person? The devil. That's who's doing it. You see, when God calls you to something, he says it's yours. It's yours. Your name is all over that. And I want you to have that thing. But I want you to do things my way. I want you to give up the control. I want you to give up those bad habits and those things that are keeping you from entering that place. Those idols. God's a jealous God. He doesn't want any gods before him. He doesn't want you gratifying your fleshy desires. He doesn't want you entertaining someone who isn't your spouse. He wants you to be faithful. So that dream that God gave me last night about those distractions, there was something in my life that was causing me to lose focus. You see, the things inside of my home, if I can't handle other people's stuff outside my home, then I have to do something about it here. I have to separate myself. If I feel in my mind that I can't handle another thing here, and something or anyone is causing me to lose peace, then friends, I got to protect my peace here. The things that matter most is my relationship with the Lord, the promise that he's given me, which is my spouse, and the other promises that he's shown me, and my children. That's what matters. I have to prepare for my husband just the same way he has to prepare for me. He has to change so that the Lord will allow him to come to me. He has to prepare for me. He has to prepare his mind and his heart for me. I have to prepare my mind and my heart for him to receive him. The same thing that you have to do for your spouse or whatever promise the Lord is giving you. He's trusting you to prepare for it. So don't get mad at him if God hasn't given it to you yet. That means you're clearly not ready for it yet, although you think you are. But maybe there's something that you got to do. Maybe you need to just focus on building your relationship with the Lord, and that's it. Listen, he will make all of your paths straight if you just focus on him. Don't focus on the problem. Don't focus on the pain. Just focus on him. God is so good that he has renewed my mind and transformed my mind. So I'm not focusing on the pain, all the bondage that I had with my dad and everything else that happened in my life. I'm not focusing on that now. I'm actually getting some things done around here, and I'm feeling more at peace. So, if God knows that something's going on in your life, and he has a promise for you, and he knows that something is causing you to lose focus, he will intervene in your life. He will. Because when he calls you to stand, he calls you to do it. So I'm just so thankful for how good he is and how faithful he is. So, friends, trust in the Lord. He's going to do his thing, friend. He will. But you got to protect the promise. You got to protect your promise, friend. And if you know that someone is trying to come in between you and your spouse coming together, then you got to move. You got to separate yourself from that, friend. You got to prepare for what you're praying for. You have to prepare for the blessing that God wants to give you. Okay? All right, I'll see y'all next time. Like and comment below if it has helped you. People may not be happy with your choices, friend. But you know what? God's purpose for your life and his promise is what's most important. His purpose, his plan, friend, is what's most important. If people don't understand that, that's not your problem. That's just how bold that I've had to learn to be. Because I was a huge people pleaser. But we can't people please, friend. We got to God please. Because he's the one who's never going to leave you or forsake you. He's going to make your path straight if you just focus on him. See you next time.